Hello, everybody. Looks like the gauge says it's empty. Let's take a walk into the kitchen and see what's in the fridge today, guys. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Look at how big this bottle is. This is a huge 750 milliliter bottle. It was sent to me by Rico. This is Weyerbacher Reserva. This is a sour wild ale, and on the bottle it's got a big raspberry with juiciness running, almost like blood running off the bottom of it. It says American, says Wickle or Wickle ale, maybe that's slang for wild, with raspberry puree added and aged on oak barrels. Sounds tasty. I've been trying to get my arms around these wild sour beers, and this is not a cheap beer, guys. It's still got the price tag on the back. Looks like Rico paid $18.25 for this bottle. Not cheap, not for the faint of heart. Corked and caged, 750 milliliter bottle. Big beer, 11.4% ABV on this one. Final beer of the evening for me, guys. I'm reviewing this on July the 12th. It probably won't post for 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks. I'm that far ahead. So just want to give you, I'm going to start giving you those, that bit of information when I'm reviewing it, because I am so far ahead. I've got so many beers sent to me here recently. I'm trying to do as many of them as I can, but I'm getting to the point where I'm so far ahead. The beers that I'm reviewing are not posting for 2 or 3, and by now maybe even 4 weeks before this gets reviewed. And once I catch up to the heavier beers like this one, and I usually try to do one of these when I do the beer reviews for the final beer of the evening. I'm gonna probably stop. I'll just kick back for a week or 2, maybe even 3, and let some of those run while the big beers are cellaring in the fridge and stuff. As long as I don't get any more sent to me, I like to do these IPAs and double IPAs and the lower ABV beers pretty quick, within a week from the time I get them. And like I said, the bigger beers can wait, and I can just review the bigger beers at a later time, or I might even just start doing one beer review a day and just do some of the bigger beers just to do something, just to do something. So, all right, let's get on with this. I don't want this to be a 20-minute video. Commercial description on this says, over a year in the making, this American wild ale is fermented with Brettanomyces yeast, so it should have that big Brett yeast flavor, and aged with red raspberry puree, or puree, however you want to call that, in oak barrels for over 1 year. So this is set in a barrel for over a year. Then bottle conditioned in champagne bottles. This is that big 750 champagne bottle. So, food pairing for this style of beer, guys. It says, all right, cabinet, come on, you can do it. Cheeses of pepper, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp. No, it don't say sharp. Pepper jack. Your stronger cheeses, Gorgonzola and Limburger. And the glassware is a flute, tulip, oversized wine glass. This is my favorite tulip glass here, and can be sold for long periods of time. So that's all we need to discuss. So let's get the cage and cork off of this. Expensive beer, pricey beer, Rico, thank you, my brother. You go above and beyond the call on the beers that you send me. And I do appreciate it, sir. You're awesome. All right. Let's see if we can get this out and hope it don't spew all over the place. course, it's going to come out pretty quick. So let's see what kind of pop we get. Big pop. Great big pop. And it's staying in the bottle. Good deal. Alright, let's give it a pour. 11.4%. Let's kick it up a notch here. Almost looks like got a slight pinkish color coming out of the bottle. Wow. About a finger heavy enough pour. Yep, it's got a slight pinkish haze to it. I can see a little bit of light to the bottom part, up here to the big bulb part. I'm not getting any. It almost has that raspberry reddish pinkish color. Very interesting. I hope it's not too sour or too tart. I'm trying to wrap my arms around that style of beer, guys, but it is just makes my mouth go. Looks good. Let's get a nose on it. Definitely get the Brettanomyces yeast right up front there. It's almost overpowering, the Brettanomyces yeast. Hints of raspberries. Getting that wild, tart aroma. And that's about all I'm getting on the nose. Maybe some hints of some woodiness from the barrels. The Brettanomyces yeast is definitely up in the front seat in the driver's seat, guys. The Brett is definitely there. And it's got that characteristics like it's going to make my mouth go crazy. So let's see what happens. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rick here. Thank you, my brother. Pricey beer. I do appreciate it, sir. Definitely tart. Not more tart than sour. The Brett's there. Very interesting. Very nice. In the first initial taste, always makes me do that. Definitely got the raspberries, guys. Definitely getting the raspberries. A nice sweet raspberry taste. But a whole lot of stuff going on with the Brett and the raspberries. And being in an oak barrel for a year. Slight hints of some vanilla from the barrel. A little bit of oakiness, woodiness in there. Wow. Definitely tart. Makes my mouth go crazy. Very nice beer though. Very big beer. 11.4%. Pretty sure that's what it's got on both sides. I think that's what it's got on the bottle. Very hard to read bottle. That black label with the writing on it. Very hard to read. Weyerbacher does some pretty good stuff on their big beers. So they've stepped up. They stepped up. A lot of their beers, the older beers when I was reviewing them 3, 4, 5 years ago, the Mad Hatter comes to mind. They did a lot of different versions of that. But now they're going a little bit further out, and doing bigger bottles and doing bigger beers. So very nice. But they're not cheap beers. When they do a bottle that size, corked and caged, $7.50, aged in a barrel for over a year, takes up space. That's why the beers are so expensive. Costs a lot of money to make 11.4%. Then it sits in a barrel for a year. How many barrels? How big a production and run did they do? All that space is taken up. That's why when you see it, a lot of people when they look at that price, $18.25. Oh my God, I can't afford that. I ain't gonna buy that. I ain't gonna buy that. I ain't gonna buy that. But this is a beer that you're not gonna buy every day or drink every day. This is a special occasion beer. And especially if you're into the Brettanomyces or the wild sour tart beers, this would be something that you would pick up and have with some friends over, or a special occasion or something like that. Something you would share. So not something you'd want to get and gulp down. So very tasty, very tasty. Well, let me sip on it, let my palate adjust to this tart beer, and see where this one ends up, and let her have a glass of it. I know she hasn't wrapped her arms around this style of beer yet. Every time she takes a drink of something like this, she makes a more sour face than I do. So I'm trying to grasp a hold of this style of beer, guys. So, well, let me sip on it for a little while, and I go outside on the deck and fire up a stogie while I'm sipping on it and see where it ends up. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on this about 30 minutes or so. Yeah, the other half is making that base. Pretty much like I did the first sip. Very tasty beer, guys. Very well done for 11.4%. I would like to see them put a vintage on the bottle so we know what year it is. I don't think this is a brewed once beer. I'm not sure, but I would like to see them say 2015, 2016, whatever the vintage is, that they put it in the bottle. That's my only fuss about this beer. It's a very tasty beer, a very nice beer, very expensive, very pricey beer. So Rico, thanks again, my brother, for spending your hard-earned money on this $18.25 bottle of beer. Very tasty. Weyerbacher doing some really nice, tasty stuff. Stepping out of the box and going with the Brettanomyces on this went very well with the raspberry puree that they did with this. So very nice, very, very nice. But like I said, the Brettanomyces has taken the front seat. It's in the driver's seat on this. It's just off the chain on this, guys. Wow. Final chug. Brettanomyces, raspberries. Maybe some slight hints of dark fruit in there. Very tart. Not too sour. A little bit of sourness in there, but not too tart. Not too sour, but more tartness than there is sourness to me. But very nice. Very, very enjoyable beer. 11.4%. Final beer of the evening for me. Very tasty. I enjoyed this. Like I told you earlier, this is a beer that you would buy for a special occasion, in my opinion. Something you would share with some friends, or not something you'd want to drink all by yourself. Very special occasion beer, in my opinion. So if you get this, don't suck it all down yourself. Share it with somebody. That's what you should do on a beer like this, especially in this big of a bottle. If you drink all this by yourself, you definitely gonna have your buzz going on, no doubt about that. So very tasty. I enjoyed this. It wasn't too tart. It wasn't too sour. Nice Brettanomyces. I call it a farmhouse saison type funkiness going on in there. Raspberries are definitely there. A little bit of vanilla and oak woodiness from the barrels that they put it in. Very tasty. All right, guys. For me, I'm gonna give this I'm gonna give it the 8, the A minus. I do think it's an A beer. I think it's very well done. Alcohol is very well hidden for 11.4%. It's nice. It's very enjoyable. Rico, thanks again, my brother. Over to Rate Beer. Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 89 in a very good range. I think it's a couple of notches better than that. If I was putting a numeric rating on this, guys, it would probably be a 91 or a 92, somewhere in that area. And over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says 95 overall, 72 in the style. So we got an 89, a 92, and a 95. So pretty close numbers there on this beer. Very nice. If you've had this one from Weyerbacher, the Riserva, which is a sour/wild ale beer. Not for the faint of heart at $18.25 a bottle, but very tasty. A nice special occasion beer, a nice beer to pick up and sell it for a while if you so choose. Just wish they would put a vintage on it, so we'll know what year edition it is if you want to do a vertical side by side, because I don't think they're a limited release edition of this. They may be doing this year after year, I'm not sure. So that's the only thing I can fuss about. Other than that, very tasty beers. So if you've had it, let me know what you think about this one. Weyerbacher Reserva. And come on back tomorrow. Let's see what we can dig out of the freeze. See you then.